Okay. It says we're live. So, welcome from the crossroads of America. A talk show, Shooting with Disabilities, guns, politics, or anything else that crosses our mind. We can go down some rabbit holes here. Answer questions from the audience, either in the chat or email me at rickslifeasIseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I have a Patreon page and PayPal and all the other good stuff all down in the description below. So there we go. That's my introduction done. It used to be a lot longer, but since things went away, it's just a lot easier just to do it that way. All right. Let's see. In the chat right now, we got Grim90 was first in, then Blind Shooters there. They're the only two right now, but it's early days. It takes a few minutes for people to get notified, to realize we're on, and then they come in. But while we're waiting for more people in the chat, let me introduce my panel here. We got Wilden Well Armed. How you doing?
I'm doing real good, Rick. Thanks for having me.
Okay, then we got Jason Stewart.
Good to see you, Rick. Glad to be here, and I'm proud to be an American.
Yeah, the New York Outcast.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the invite.
No problem. And we have a new panelist now joining us is Wheelchair Luke. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks for having me.
No problem. We're getting to you in a little while, asking questions and stuff.
Glad to meet you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, guys.
Hey, Sabrina's here. How you doing? Did you ever get your package yet, Sabrina? I hope so. That was that deck of cards and everything I sent you over to the Netherlands. You know?
Good evening, Sabrina.
So, that's right. There's a lady in the chat there, Luke, that she listens from the Netherlands. You know?
All right. That's what's up.
Yeah. All right. So as I was telling everybody, I mean, I'm feeling, hey, Raphael's in the chat. I'm feeling pretty good with my hip and stuff now, but the arthritis is killing me. I'm wearing my compression gloves. I've been wearing them all day and tonight. I mean, my hands are absolutely killing me, you know? And
because
actually,
of the weather?
Yeah, because it's so cold. It's making you arthritis. I mean, I know you're not meant to show it on live thing anymore, but my 380 here, I was changing the ammo in the magazine. Oh my God! I'm glad it has that little button on it, because I couldn't even push the 380 down into the damn thing. My thumb hurts so bad, you know. Sabrina still hasn't received that package.
Gotta get yourself one of them Upalula loaders.
Well, no, let me pop it out real quick. The actual magazine itself has one of the
little tab.
Has a little tab on it.
Like
Still,
22?
one of those loaders as well makes it a lot.
I got one of those.
A lot easier.
Those things are great. Well, if you don't get it by next week, let me know, Sabrina. I got another pack of those playing cards here, and I'll send them to you. So, all right, everybody's starting to come in now. We got Southpaw RX, Gun Loving Grandpa, and they're Raphael. They're all starting to drop in now. Yeah, but besides that, as I told everybody, I'm allowed to drive now, so that was good. I mean, I don't know who it is, but some old guy about 3 houses down. Well, the other, was it Monday night, Tuesday night? I'm trying to think. What's today? Wednesday? Monday night. We had the most snow here we've had in a long time, they told me. Been years since we had snow in southern Indiana, so I've been told. But it was only 4 or 5 inches. But some guy on a 4-wheeler with a plow was driving. I saw his headlight flashing through my window, and I went to have a look, and I opened my door and said, hey, well, you know, he said, oh, yeah, he says, I'm just doing your driveway for you. I said, oh, okay, I don't mind. You want anything for it? He goes, nope. So he plowed my driveway Monday night. Then Tuesday it snowed a couple of inches, and he plowed it again yesterday, and he plowed it again this morning for nothing. I thought that was very nice of him.
See, Rob, that's what neighbors do for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually do take care of some of my neighbors, but that's besides the point. Besides cutting grass for half the block for free, I will add. But I would say it's nice to offer the guy a tip or something. Though if he's throwing,
I did.
So. Oh, I know. But people say no, and then sometimes you just got to kind of throw it at them. It's nice, but still, yeah. Like kindness goes both ways.
Yeah. Hey, I offered.
When I first
I'm not begging him to take it.
when I first moved in my house, my neighbor said, "I'll be glad to cut your grass." I said, "Can I pay you?" He goes, "Sure, $25." I said, "Great." And so he started mowing it every day. Every day. I was like, "Well, what do I pay him every day? I mean, this is crazy. I would never." Anyway, I told him to stop.
You must have a really nice lawn then.
He was
every day.
not every day.
He was making a killing out of you, wasn't he?
That's right. He thought he was going to make a killing. He was unemployed. He thought that was his new job.
Yeah, that's a bit excessive. But kids plowing or whatever, I mean, it's not. For all the kid's slow and people are thinking you're taking advantage of them or something. So it's, that's.
I'd almost rather plow my own driveway. It's a workout though. You know what I mean?
Hey, when you live around
I do
snow,
mine.
as I have, I hate snow with a passion. I've done all the shoveling and plowing I plan on doing in my lifetime. That's why I got a 4-wheel drive truck. Because I don't plan on shoveling my driveway. I just plan on plowing through it, with my 4-wheel drive. Oh, but anyway, okay. Let's get this show going since we got some people here now. I just got a couple of things here. I mean, we're gonna what's called? It's got Wheelchair Luke has a question later on. We'll get to, but I just wanted to talk. We talked about this before, but as cold as it is with the snow that most of the country's under and everything else, cold weather shooting. I mean, do you use indoor range if it's possible, or do you just bundle up and go outside or don't shoot at all? Personally, myself, when I lived in Rhode Island, I would use an indoor range in the colder months. Then, but because the outdoor ranges and the snow and the mud, oh God, it was just too much aggravation. But here, I don't do any shooting because I think there's an indoor range in Jasper, I believe, but I'm not certain. But everywhere else I shoot is outdoors. So with my arthritis and everything else, I ain't gonna do it. So I just sit indoors and dry fire practice with my eye target laser thing. That's what I do. So what about you, Will and Well Armed? Well, you're in Georgia. You don't get that cold except for 1 month a year.
We worry about more hot than cold here. So yeah, I'm indoors pretty much year round.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, I remember the days. I think February was the coldest month of the year in Atlanta when I lived there.
It is.
Yeah, I remember. This is going back. I think it was 94 or 95. It snowed about 2 inches, I think, if that. The whole city came to a screeching halt. Cars are crashing all over the place. It was funny to watch, because most of the Georgians don't see snow, So anyway, I remember that.
We had a snowstorm about 10 years ago. We called it Snowopolis, and people are still talking about it. It got freezing for about 3 days before the snow came, and we got about 6 inches in 4 hours during a work day, and everybody was snowed in their offices, and like you said, cars everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you didn't get caught in this last blizzard coming through the whole country?
Nope, no snow here. It got down. I think on Tuesday our high was 27, and today it was
Oh,
52.
dang, you can go outside short sleeve shirts on 27, you know? Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even down here, even though, I mean, it snowed, we maybe had 4 or 5 inches here, but I mean, it's been single digits. It's been, that wind has been brutal blowing, you know, but that's okay. So, yeah, I can imagine indoor shooting range all year round where it's, the AC's blowing and it's nice and controlled temperature. That's what I like, you know. Jason Stewart, what about you? Do you do any shooting in this cold? Go out there in the snow, or you indoors if possible?
Nah, I'm not doing any shooting during the winter until it warms up. The club and the range I belong to is outdoors. Have a very, very nice indoor range set up about a half hour away. Was there one time, really don't care for their prices and their rules about things. But I'll just wait till the weather breaks.
Yeah, that was the one problem. They with the indoor range I used, it wasn't cheap. They charged $25 an hour, and you could not use reloaded ammo. So
yeah, that's some of the rules here.
you know,
You can't pick your brass back up. You have to buy your targets from them. I'm not sure. It's basically about $25 an hour. You can bring a guest and they'll split it so you can have like 2 people for $35 an hour. And but they just got some other rules. You got to pay $125 deposit in case you shoot the floor or shoot the string on the target. And they just got some things that it's not a very friendly type place, you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
more like corporation rules and stuff. And I just never really enjoyed doing business with them.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Yeah. Okay, who's next? Wheelchair Luke. What about you? What do you do?
I actually got the CERT pistol and the CERT AR bolt that I use in conjunction with the Laser X app that you can find. I did a video about it on my channel. So, obviously, like where I live at, I'm north of Pittsburgh. And where I'm from, there's not a lot of people who have disabilities who shoot. So they don't really care about keeping the ranges clean, just so I just, you're able to use this app inside and, it gets you that muscle memory. Obviously, you're not going to have, all the exact
Recoil
management, stuff like that. But at the same time, it is to me, it's better to do that than just not doing it all.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why I use that laser thing in my gun. Even if I'm sitting in front of the TV, I don't always use the targets that came with it. A lot of times I'll just shoot it at the people on the TV, But it keeps that muscle memory going.
Yeah, and
you put it on CNN.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, do you know they're getting more ratings than Fox now? So Fox has lost its top spot since the election. So anyway, I'm trying to stay away from politics today. Mind you, real quick before going to my next subject, we lost a great one today with Rush Limbaugh passing away. So I like listening to his show. Sometimes he was a bit radical, but most of the time I like listening to what he had to say. So
Rush is a legend.
Oh yeah, there won't be another one like him anytime soon.
Lost a great voice there. Yep.
Yeah. So I just wanted to mention that. Okay, now here's the next one I brought up. I was hoping Patriot in the Dark would be here because this is one of his the veteran side of it is I was thinking here, especially during the winter months when you're, short days, it's cold and miserable. And if you can't get out, it's more of the what a lot of people don't talk about, getting depressed and stuff like that. What you need to, I mean, it was just a simple thing. It was sort of like a PSA I'm putting out there. Call somebody, email somebody, talk to somebody. Even email me if you got to. Is don't sit there and wallow and self-isolate in this. Talk to somebody. You need to because it can. I'm not saying people would do anything, but you never know. And as where Patriot was here, he would tell you, was there 22 veterans a day commit suicide? So whether that's all to do with loneliness or not, I don't know. But, it's a contributing factor why a lot of people do it because they feel, nobody likes them. Their life ain't worth living and all this crap. So I just wanted to bring that up. I haven't brought it up in a while. It's I don't know if it's a touchy subject or not. I don't know, but it's something that needs to be mentioned every now and then, I feel, especially this time of year when it gets rough.
Rick, can I say something about that?
You certainly can.
Well, I'm not a veteran at all, but this time of year for me, I was, 17 years ago, around this time of year, I was I got hurt and put in a wheelchair. So, it's definitely something that, I like to keep my ear to because, it's cold. Like you said, it's cold. It's dark, man, and to have those, when you start feeling it's cold and dark on the outside and you're feeling cold and dark on the inside, man, it's not easy, especially like for me, I had some issues, that just manifested throughout my life. It's regardless on if you're a veteran or not, this time of year is hard for people.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Is no, where I was going to. I was talking about anybody in general, just like you were saying. Where I was going is one of our panelists, Patriot in the Dark. He's a veteran and he's big into this this veterans organization. To do with suicides. That's why I mentioned the veterans.
Oh yeah. But it's an important thing to bring up. It definitely is.
Oh yeah. I remember many years ago that. At one time I was life. It was just life in general was getting me down. Financial issues. She doesn't love me anymore. This kind of crap. Work sucked. The car broke down. What I mean? And I just felt life was just getting too much for me. But luckily, I had some people that talked to me, and things got better. So, I can see that's why I'm saying talk to somebody, because it's the way I look at it today, there is always somebody worse off than you are. I know that's kind sign of horrible, but what I'm trying to say is life is not as bad as you portray it to be to yourself, So just wanted to mention all that to everybody out there. Just you got any friends that you haven't heard from for a while, email them if you don't want to call them, or text them and just ask them how to do it.
I will say this though, Rick, is wheeled and well armed. I know you're in here, right? Remember,
Yep.
You sent me those the patches and everything and talked to me a little bit. That dug me out of a pretty dark place, brother.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Glad they made it to you.
I got the patches and, I posted them on my social media, got a big response from it, so I just wanted to say, because I've never really talked with you that much, but, I wanted to say, hey, man, thank you. You were a light that, you know, actually helped me through a dark time. You know, just something simple like that, you know, just by reaching out and then inviting me with, you know, Rick here and everything, you know, it was kind of one of those times where, you know, like, you know, I'm starting to feel like, you know, I'm just useless, you know, and then you reach out to me, you know, Rick, you talk to me, you know. So for me, that was, you know, just like you said, Rick, you know, talk to people, email people, you know, it makes a difference.
Yeah,
Big,
being real connected. Yeah, exactly.
Oh
you know,
yeah, it
so,
does.
you know, so that made me feel, I don't want to say like wanted or anything, but, you know, it made me feel that like, you know, I'm not the only one on, you know, going through this, you know. So it was nice to, you know, that I really appreciate you reaching out to me. And, you know, I do appreciate that, brother. You know, I really do. Both you guys.
No problem.
Good to do
Yeah.
it.
Defense Dad in the chat says, yeah, a lot of people get seasonal depression in the winter. COVID and isolation hasn't made it better, which is true. You know, I mean, I believe statistically, you know, suicides and all that and depression's all gone up. Mental health issues have all gone up during this COVID. So, something to think about.
Yeah,
You know?
when I was at Fort Lewis, I mean, you know, the suicide rate in Seattle is higher than any other city in the country. I guess because of the cold, rainy, dreary, you know, months of winter.
Yeah. Yeah. So I said, I just wanted to throw that out there to anybody out in the chat or anything that's feeling, you know, email somebody, call them up, text them, you know. I mean, as I said, if you're feeling bad, email me. I'll answer you. Might only be a one-liner, but I'll respond, you know. So there we go. Okay, moving on. I was just there was something else I was going to mention before we went on to Luke's question. I can't remember what in the hell it was now. Oh, yeah. It's I don't know if I told this on Saturday or not, but because of my operation and all these cousins I got living here now, you know, keeping an eye on me, calling me up every day, coming over. Here in my little man cave, my little room here, on my desk here, I had 4 boxes of assorted ammo. And they're gone. And I can't find them anywhere. So I called the cousin up and said, what did you do with my ammo? You know? And I found out what she did with it. She stuck it. I got a couple of them. You can't see them. They're behind the other side of the computer here. But I got these plastic storage containers with drawers in them. She put them in one of those. So I dug them back out, you know. So
Messed with your organized chaos.
absolutely. Absolutely. I was frantic. I'm thinking, where the hell are they? You know? Because, I mean, a lot of it, actually, I said 4 sort of, one of them was a box of 100 380 that I had reloaded, you know? And I thought, hey, I don't have that many small primers. I need those just in case, you know? You don't know what's going down. So anyway, I found them, so I'm a bit relieved with that one. So mind you, I still got and I missed late. I came in. I was wearing a sweatshirt, vest. I had about 3 jackets on today, but I was wearing my, you know. Oh look, he's carrying a gun vest on, and it has slots in it for magazines for my 380. I only had 1 magazine in there. And I got home and I took the vest off and I said, it didn't feel right. And I looked and the magazine's missing. And I'm thinking, oh no, don't tell me that fell out in the snow somewhere. So, I'm all thinking, anyway, I searched the house. I thought, well, maybe did I drop it on the carpet before I left? So I've got, even though I can walk around good and stuff, I still have, I can't bend down yet. So I've got my cane and I'm sticking it under my bed, scooting it back and forth, seeing maybe it fell out of my pocket and slid under the bed and all this. I'm doing all this and I'm thinking, where in the hell is that? I said, I hope it's not in the snow. I don't want to jump back in the truck and drive around, see if I can find it. But anyway, as it turned out, I said, let me check my truck. So I went out to my truck and I couldn't see it. But then I stuck my hand down between the seats and it had fallen down in there right onto the floor. I went, oh God, that's a relief. Because, I mean, it wasn't so much losing it. Yes. I mean, for this 380, they're almost $30 a piece. That's pre-COVID prices. I think they were $28 each.
They're stainless steel, right?
Yeah.
I think that Smith & yeah. So if you dropped it in the driveway, I mean, worse, you might have lost out on some ammo if it sat there for the day. And honestly, it would most likely still function fine. But I don't know if you'd want to carry that just to be safe. But if you popped your magazine apart and cleaned it down, it would be fine. If it's left out there real long periods, that's a different story. But I've dropped mine in the snow and stepped on them accidentally and stuff, and caked them up pretty good, and stayed out for most of the day before I've gone back, and they were fine.
Yeah,
with the Smith & Wesson one.
Yeah, I mean, I clean my magazines down. Not every time I clean my gun, but I would say maybe a couple of months I'll actually unload the magazines and take the base plate off and clean the inside out and all that kind of good stuff and put it all back together. Make sure it's all working. You never know.
It's a fun thing to do as well.
Yeah, it is. I enjoy cleaning firearms and cleaning those kind of stuff. I enjoy doing all that kind of stuff.
If you carry an extra magazine in a pocket, you should probably do that a little more often. Not all the time, but maybe check it every couple months, because you'd be surprised how many lint balls and things like that you'll find stuffed in the magazine. Doesn't take too long.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. I mean, like I said, like my 380. I mean, it sits in a holster and stuff, but I run a rag through the barrel every couple of weeks just to make sure. You never know. And also that little North American Arms little revolver I have, that single shot 22 Magnum. When that goes in my pocket, that gets all kind of dust balls in it. I have to clean that out quite regularly. So
yeah. After a couple shootings, I usually take my stuff and throw it in the river. So they're gonna look for evidence, make them look for it.
I take all my
and then you buy new stuff. Yeah.
I clean all my guns in the dishwasher. So
I got this thing.
You probably could, your magazines and stuff. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
yeah, you can do that.
As long as you dried everything well, probably could.
You'll poison your dishwasher, and then it'll poison your dishes.
Yeah, that's the only problem is the lead gets in. Is the problem.
Well, the primer, mercury, lead, all kinds of stuff you don't want. No.
I mean, what I'm saying is the dishwasher would actually do the job. But as you said, if I was going to do that, I don't ever plan to. But if I was ever going to do it, I would have a designated dishwasher. That's all it would ever be used for. I wouldn't be putting my utensils through it as well,
So if you're house sitting, you could do it that way, right?
The what?
If you house sit, that's when you would do that.
Oh yeah, whoever.
Or if you're babysitting for your ex-wife, you could go over there and do it at her house.
Yeah.
Okay.
How you doing?
Hey, I'm just recently divorced. I might do that.
Yeah. Real quick, we're laughing here, but were you listening, Patriot?
I don't listen. That's one of my big things. That's why I have an ex-wife, or a couple of them, because I don't listen.
I was talking about this time of year being depression and everything, and I couldn't remember the name of that thing for the veterans that you do with the suicide hotline or whatever it is.
Oh, 22 kill?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So that's the name of the.
Yeah,
what?
A lot of their stuff they've changed, and they have a lot of in-house stuff in Texas, places that you can go and all that stuff. But you can check them out. There's a lot of them out there now. Yeah, I did stuff before with Wounded Warriors until I didn't like one of the guys, and then they got rid of the guy I liked, and then I kind of disappeared, and now I guess they're back to being good guys. But there's a minute because I was donating a bunch of training and stuff to them. And
Patriot.
Yes.
Hey, I'm Luke, new to this and everything. I had a question. You know, you're talking about this. Do you ever get with the what is it called? Till Valhalla? You ever do anything with them?
No, I've seen advertisements for shirts and stuff, but I have not done anything with them besides just checking out their shirts and stuff.
I know around my area and a couple of my buddies, I got linked into them just somehow through, Facebook or whatever. And I know they, the nice thing that they do, aside from, giving you, obviously the merchandise and the shirts, you buy off them, that they do actually send you updates about, a vet that, committed suicide. They'll send you updates about stuff, I don't want to say like who it was, because that's very personal information, but they will actually give you, a little bit of, you help this many people this month, or, they have actually emailed the people on that and said, would you be interested in, this is in your area. Would you be interested in going to this veteran's family house and presenting them with, something that they, like, I don't want to say like a plaque or something, but you know what I mean? Just like a little token or whatever, So I always thought that was kind of cool.
The one thing that really got me with 22 Kill, I haven't done anything with it in way too long, and I that really stinks. But they have a setup where you can actually sign up as a volunteer, right? You if you were in service or if you're not, it doesn't really matter. But you can sign up, and then if they have, they have their own number for people that need help or in a bad spot, and they can kind of pass them off, and you could just be a person on the other end of the line, to listen to whatever, just in those spots, which is
it's important.
Yeah, so that was really cool because it is people in your area too. So I mean, if it ended up that you could meet up with them if they chose to meet up with you for coffee or something, then you can do that. But they do a lot of the stuff as far as sponsors, where you do. You can kind of sponsor like walks, like marches. They did one here that was like 22 miles or something like that, and it was just a bunch of vets, to raise money and stuff like that for obviously the same cause. But yeah, if you just put some time and effort and look into it,
And if you don't,
I'm sorry.
I definitely will, man. I mean, I think like I said, I'm not a vet, but that mental health thing, that's important not only to people who serve, but also in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody knows somebody that regardless if if they're in a bad spot, everybody knows somebody that's been in a bad spot. And so if you got I always focus on obviously buddies that you served with or whatever, but everybody's got somebody that they might have talked to a lot, and then it just kind of stopped. So it doesn't take much for that 2 minutes. I try to stay away from the messaging on Facebook or any of that stupid stuff, text messages. That's all impersonal garbage, in my opinion. I mean, do what you want, but that call to somebody that you haven't talked to in a while, just to say, hey, was thinking about you, whatever. Don't have to get all mushy like Squib does, but it does help. And you don't know that 2 minutes that you spent can make all the difference, and it does make the difference. And nobody will ever know what kind of difference you've made just by doing that, that call or whatever.
Exactly, and I like that. That's something that I enjoy talking. Just reaching out to people. Trying to make somebody feel like hey, I got your back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't have to have answers either. So
No, just
you don't have to be that hard-headed guy that says, "Oh, this is how you got to fix it." Just listen, and somebody knows that you're actually listening to them. That does make a big difference. Everybody's been in bad spots. I mean, shit, I've been in plenty of them. But when you reach out and you do that talk, or you just drop by to drop off donuts, or something stupid, that everybody else would think was just dumb and didn't really mean anything. That if you're on the other side of that, it does make a lot of difference.
It's the small things that make a difference.
Yep.
I could do with some donuts.
Yeah.
Anyway, did you have much snow there in Michigan, Patriot?
Oh boy, I was ignoring it. I was doing the mail thing. If I ignore it, it goes away, right? Feelings, all that kind of garbage. Push it down and whatever. And so I finally said, well, shit, I better get on my boots, get on the gear, and I'm going out. So I turn on the radio, open the garage, I start shoveling the sidewalk up to my front door, and the snow's up to just about 6 inches below the door handle. I clear that all off, get it all cleared, get to my driveway, and it's free and clear. So the neighbor has a big 4-wheel drive, and he spent 4 hours driving around the neighborhood just blowing away all the. I actually even got mail yesterday, which normally if it snows, I don't get mail for like weeks, because the mail lady, she's definitely going to get out and walk it up to the door.
Okay, I don't want to sound insensitive, right? But how in the hell did you shovel a sidewalk?
Okay, well, this is just your little tip, right? You might have heard my story. I don't know. It's probably like my daughter was like maybe 2 or 3. So this was obviously 10 years ago or so. But after that escapade, I learned to turn on a radio in the garage, right? So that you just hear it and you know which direction it is. It ain't no big deal. So it's working a grid, but as long as you have that radio on, because I left out to take the trash out on January 5th, whatever year it was, and it was like 18 below zero, and this was like at 4:30 in the morning. It's crazy early, no wind, no traffic. The wife at the time had left for work. I drug him out there, and I passed the end of the driveway. And next thing you know, I am down the road. I'm across the road. I ran into gnomes. I went through ditches and drifts, all sorts of shit. And I ended up having to call and say it was a horrible thing. So anytime I go out, doing that kind of stuff, I turn on a radio. I got wind chimes and, by the door, that kind of garbage. So there's always little tips, but yeah, it takes one of those, escapades running into the neighborhood gnomes and.
Hey, well, it's what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, for you doing that stuff, I think it's amazing. I still think it's amazing. That you shoot a gun. You know what I'm saying?
Could something like the invisible fence help you, Patriot? I mean, not like
with a shot. Yeah,
not shock the shit out of you, but give you a little notice. At the edge of your yard.
Yeah, most of the stuff. I mean, like my yard, it is what it is. I'm in a. When I bought the house, there was like 4 houses other than mine in this whole area, and now they're stacked up all around me. And I ended up finding out that the last house that sold was triple of what I paid. So that's kind of nice if I ever want to sell it. But yeah, I mean, in the summer it's no big deal, because you just walk each direction or whatever. But there's always noise, and I got a 30-foot flagpole that I always I taking off the little booties over the cleats, and so it makes noise all the time, which probably pisses off the neighbors too. But that's kind of my job. So
Yeah.
Rick, can I ask a question to everybody?
Yeah.
Just out of complete curiosity, because I'm pretty new to all this, disabilities and stuff. What's everybody got going on here?
Well, mine is severe arthritis and spinal stenosis. I got disabled because I had an accident in work, and I lost 25% use of my left hand. That's me.
Okay.
I'm broke and I live in New York.
Yeah,
that's a pretty big one.
Yeah.
I got a
Especially
GED.
when it comes to shooting.
I got a GED diploma.
And then we've got Will and Well Armed.
Yeah, I fell down the elevator shaft in '99, and I'm a paraplegic, quadriplegic. I broke 6, 7, and 8, C7.
Okay.
Yeah, then we got Patriot.
I just live too close to Squib.
Yeah.
Not close enough because he'll never take me to the range, that little bastard. But
Yeah.
no, I'm just a blind guy. Totally lights out. No light perception. Yeah. And I'm male, so that's another thing, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I was curious.
Who's on the panel? I've never heard your voice, so
Will is Wheelchair Luke. He's a new guy.
Oh, okay.
And we're just gonna ask him, if he wants to.
You weren't on Sandy's
bio real quick.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to. I'm 32. I'm almost 33. Jeez. I feel like I'm in front of the class back in high school. I'm a Korean American, which that actually, from some of the, shows I've watched, that with the politics and everything, there's certain things I feel about that. Not in a bad way. I actually agree with, I agree with a lot of it. I started shooting maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and when I say shooting, I don't mean like actually, like aiming down a sight, towards a target. I mean, actually shooting to save my life, recently divorced. So if any good looking ladies are out there, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I'm happy to be here, happy to talk to you guys, and especially from where I'm from, I'm from Pittsburgh, not a lot of disabled shooters. And I was just real happy, because, Wheel and Well Armed, messaged me about it. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to talk. I want to, talk to other people because I don't get that a lot, So
Yep.
Great. Well, welcome.
Well, welcome. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We got 15 minutes left. So you also had a off disability topic you wanted to talk about too, didn't you, Luke?
Yeah. So the one thing I noticed, especially since, getting more and more into the firearms community was that, everybody posts, pictures of their guns or, their firearms, just kind of show. And, people would ask questions, they'd inquire about it. And I wanted to see too, maybe if it was just me, but like I posted something on a forum, and I don't want to say I got disrespectful feedback, but there was feedback where I saw on my post that it was one of those, you know, like if you know but don't say anything comments. Now, to me, that was one of those ones where it was like, okay, you're trying to get somebody into a community firearm or whatever, doesn't matter, but you would, like here's a great example, weightlifting, right? You're not gonna, you get some small kid in there weightlifting, and these 260-pound bodybuilders are making fun of them. The kid's not going to want to come back.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to see what you guys all thought about the firearm community, about, maybe just some, a very new novice shooter posting something on there. They're happy that they bought their first pistol, their first carbine. But then, you have people going on there, oh, I see something wrong with this. I see something wrong with that. You're not doing this. So I wanted to see what everybody thought about that,
Well, you're right. They're out there. And early on, I let it bother me. But now, I don't pay no attention to them. A good example, right? If, say, for argument's sake, I own a Taurus 38 Snubby. Right? That Taurus gun, I've had no issues with it. It works beautiful and everything else. And what people forget to realize, Taurus, outside of the United States, is the biggest gun manufacturer in the world. They sell millions of guns. And of course, out of millions of guns, you are going to get, ones that don't work and get sent back to be repaired. But if you say to somebody, oh, look, I bought a new Taurus today, and you get those goddamn assholes straight away. Oh, Taurus is bullshit. I wouldn't own one of those. It's just because, and 9 times out of 10, that guy is more likely never shot a goddamn Taurus. He's just repeating what he's heard from other people. I mean, you got people who, if you can't buy a $2,000 revolver, I don't want to talk to you. You ain't worth talking about. Anything you own that's less than $2,000 ain't worth owning. Those people are out there, and you just got to learn to ignore them. After a while, you find out who they are or not, and you just ignore them.
Oh, is that why you guys don't talk to me?
Yeah, exactly.
that's
my take on it anyway. They are out there, and unfortunately, it's a shame, but you got to have a little bit of a thick skin.
And I'm not saying that, like you got to have, obviously you have to have thick skin, going into any situation. But, I mean, especially since we're talking about, shooting with a disability, you might have some kid that, is excited to shoot about it, but, excited to shoot their brand new, carbine or a pistol, and then they're met with all this, I don't even want to say criticism, because it's really not that, but I guess to me, it bothers me to see all these, I guess people almost like saying that if you don't own this, you don't own that, or you don't know that much about this or that much about that,
Hey, Wheelchair Luke. Wheelchair Luke. When in Atlanta, we have this thing called GADPA, GADPA. It's Greater Atlanta, I don't know, pistol competition, but it's indoor, and they've got the target set up, and then they got tarps held down, and you shoot from this side of the tarp, and you shoot from that side of the tarp. And it's all downrange on the indoor range, much like you'd have outdoors, but it's really great for, somebody in a wheelchair. I'm just the only one in a wheelchair. And so, when they start, those able-bodied guys, they lean over and are able to shoot on the right-hand side of the tarp, where I got to reposition my wheelchair over, So their time is 15 seconds or 12 seconds. And my time is 45 seconds or 48 seconds. And so every day I'm at the very last of everybody. I mean, if you take the worst time and multiply it times 3 or 4, that's me. And it's kind of frustrating to go there and be dead last and no chance of, and I mean, they could let me have my wheelchair over the line and not have to reposition my chair. They're pretty stringent with the rules, but I try to get other people in a wheelchair to go, and nobody has taken me up on it. Here in Atlanta, there's plenty of people in a wheelchair. I'm sure that shoot. I see them at the range. I mean, it's a big range I go to. There's 24 lanes. So there's people in wheelchairs that come besides me, and just trying to get them to show up on Monday nights at GADPA, it's just impossible. But it's the people there, they're nice as could be. They're not snickering at my time or anything else. They'll crack on me for a miss, or hitting in the C zone, or not hitting all 3 targets or something. But they'll never talk about my time.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what you guys had to say about it, because never talked to anybody else.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing right now, right? If you witness that, I mean, there's obviously all types of people out there in anything, right? And so you just keep going until you find a group like us. You're not getting that same tone with that next group, right? So you come across jerks all the time. I mean, I come across them. That's why I'm out here, because there are a lot of people that want to do these things or whatever, and they're like, oh, I can't because the dick I live with, or the people I know, they say I can't, and so I'm just gonna hide out or whatever. And so put myself out there, just whatever, because I doesn't bother me. I don't care. There are people like that all over the place. Putting yourself out there, and you just keep looking until you find the people that I mean, obviously it stinks if you're a young person or whatever, and you come across some grumpy ass person that's like, oh no, you got to earn my whatever to stand next to me and ask me a question. But you can always find that next person that's going to be a little bit more welcoming or whatever.
Yeah, I just I don't personally have that problem because I'm obviously I'm so far into my disability. Once you get so far into it, you're just like kind of like, yeah, hey, screw you, you know what I mean? But I always get just I'm thinking about generations behind us. You know what I mean? I don't want generations behind us looking at it as it is this and only this, and able-bodied people that can do this, because we all have the right to do what we want to do, what we want to have. If I want to carry a damn gun, regardless, I'm going to carry a damn gun, and I think that what I see, especially up my way, I'm in the sticks of Pennsylvania, man. I am the only person. I'm the only wheelchair person. I am the only Asian person in my area, and just as the world progresses, I'm seeing more and more people kind of ask me like, hey, you can do this, so why can't I? And I want it to be a smoother transition and better for them, that they can have, good firearm training, other than, well, hey, I want to learn to shoot a gun. Well, you have to take a personal class that's going to cost you $400. Why can't I be with, other people? That's kind of my thing, and I mean, like I said, I'm very new to this channel and all this, but that's kind of the way I see it.
That's something you could talking about that. There is instructors out there who will teach or train people to shoot, who aren't going to say, well, it's going to cost you X amount. They charge their normal price, but that's something you can get into, become an instructor, and have it set up to teach disabled people. You know what I'm saying? There's all ways of doing it, but I understand what you're saying. I really do. It actually something Patriot said there before we go on the other guys was, as everybody knows that that I don't drink anymore. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I mean, I've been going for years now, but I remember there's old timers there. I'm an old timer now compared to I'm about the age of these people were, or amount of sobriety.
You look great.
No, but what I'm going is they would go to me, I spilt more alcohol than you drank. You know what I'm saying? Ha ha ha. I said, well, you goddamn was a sloppy drunk then, because I didn't spill any. That's not normally how I answered them. That normally shut them up and they went to go soaking off to their little corner and didn't speak to me anymore, which worked for me. So. All
That's
right.
Another thing is you want to make sure, because there's a lot of people out there that are, but they're not vocal about it, right? And so there might be more than you think, unless you get some jerk like me that's out there just blabbing away and standing out. There's a lot of people out there that do things that they don't put out on the nightly news.
Yeah.
You can always find them, and especially if you stick your head out, you'll end up seeing a lot more come around.
Yeah. So. There's a question for Willed and Well Armed. He said, "Why don't you ask them that the other people sit in a chair and they're shooting?"
Well, I guess I have to bring a chair for them.
You know what I'm saying? Say, well, no, let's do it this way. You all sit in a chair and let's see how you do. I bet you win.
Yeah,
nice
probably.
But there is a lot of. We're getting on the New York Outcast and Jason in a second, but also the those two shooting things. I can never remember them that are big around the country that a lot of these professional shooters do. And they're all over the place. USPA or whatever it's called, and those kind of things. There's the one that's shooting at targets, and there's a defensive one. Well, both of those have in their rule books, they have rules for disabled people to be able to shoot, and they take off so much time. Say you shoot something and it should only take, instead of adding time on, they subtract time off to make you more competitive. I think that's how it works. I'm not exactly sure because I've never done it. I've just
the handicapping.
Yeah. And also, believe it or not, if they don't go bankrupt and go under, the NRA has a adaptive shooting section which I think is what the money should go to, this kind of stuff. And I don't think they've done it this last year because of the COVID, but they actually have a shooting championship every year for disabled people only. So there's something out there. Okay. So anyway, okay, New York Outcast. You want to answer what Luke was talking about? You come across it?
Sure. I'll give my 2 cents. And I would just state, if you're new or whatever, my opinion, online's just like real life. You got pricks. You got people that talk a bunch of crap. There is people that, know more than you do. So watch what crap you talk. And, just like regular life in a sense. Maybe a little worse because you can't reach out and punch somebody. So, yeah, that's online. My opinion. So you're going to get good, you're going to get bad. So you just, you'll figure out what's what. And then same thing as far as, new people into it coming in. Like the worst thing they could do is running the squib right now. But there's going to be different types of people. So, everybody starts somewhere. So, I don't see why we should be hating on people or whatever. If somebody's shooting, somebody behind you on your side with a gun's better than, one without one. So, either way you look at it or whatever. So, if all you can afford is a high point and that's what you got, I mean, it's better than nothing. So that, kudos to you. When people learn more, they move up. So we all started somewhere. So I don't know. I'm not a stickler on that, but I would, some people are cool, some are pricks. So that's
Exactly.
unfortunately life.
It's not me personally because, like at this point in my life, I really just don't care what other people have to say, but I always, there are people that I know, they ask about that and they're like, I'm so scared to go to this and that. And I'm like, well, you can either suck it up, which is what I'd prefer them to do, but I'm not them, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know their, how, and this sounds very stupid, I guess, of me, but I don't know I don't know their sensibility on stuff, like, just like all of us, that we've dealt with disabilities throughout our lives, like from what I can tell, we all dealt with it good, we dealt, you know, for us, we're hard motherfuckers, we are able to deal with it, but I get some people, sometimes that ask me about it and just, from high school, that kind of found out that I'm into this type of lifestyle. And they asked me about it. And I'm like, I can't tell you, just like I tell my guy friend, like, hey, quit being suck it up. You know what I mean? And for me, especially out this way, I just, I have friends who are in wheelchairs and I just like, I don't know what to tell them about it. I'm like, because my disability is not the same as theirs. I'm a paraplegic, a T10 paraplegic. They might be, an MS, MS. They might be something else, but to me, I just really want them, if that's what they really want to do, if that's what they think that they want to learn, then let's give it to them. You know what I mean? Without, saying, well, hey, you suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it all comes down to, I mean, even after all these years, it still comes down to people. If you're different, people don't know how to handle it. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
No, you're right.
That's why so many Glocks get sold. Everybody's afraid to be different.
I always just thought Glocks were good looking,
Yeah. All right, Jason, you got any input on this topic?
Yeah, I'm glad we circled back to this. As far as new shooters into this, what I'll call this community here on YouTube, we're just a small speck, but through 7 degrees of separation or whatever, there's a group of a few hundred people right here that you can kind of run into every night. I've met nothing but good people, and I haven't seen anything negative toward a new person at all. I've seen the opposite. I've seen just open arms to new people. Okay. Anybody will answer you any question to a new person without bullshitting you. Now, once we get to know you, we'll bust your chops, because you bought a Glock or, you know what I mean, or something. But for new people, I've never seen anything but just help. Glad to see you. It's excitement for us too, to bring in a new shooter, someone new to it. But there's sort of a catch to it here. It's the Second Amendment. We'd love to teach you about firearms and answer any of your questions. We'd also love to educate you about the Second Amendment. So you can meet a lot of good people on the internet and a lot of good friends. But when you get into a group where you're passionate about firearms and you're passionate about the Second Amendment, the people you meet aren't just good people anymore. There's your new brothers and your sisters. And that's what you end up with, a bond with other people, glad to know them, good friends, family, brothers and sisters. We don't like get mad at anybody because they're brand new or because they asked a stupid question or anything like that. I'm sure that's out there, and you can run into some uppity people and this and that. But by and large, if you're in a group of someone who loves firearms and someone who's passionate about the Second Amendment, you're in good company.
Yeah, everybody on the panel has a channel. Half the people out there watching the channel, a live stream, or have a channel. Then, then there's other, regular guys that are all in this group. Gizzard Gary and Travis and Clover Tech, and I'm not going to name them all, but there's just a bunch of these live chats that go on weekly, that are all kind of in the same community of people. And you'll run into them, Luke, all the time once you start seeing all these live chats. There's one twice a night with the same group of people, wouldn't you say, Jason?
Yeah. You can jump around. Boy, it's hard just to name everybody off.
Yeah.
There's just, you can quickly just listen and watch and come into some people's chats and listen to some people, and you get to know some people pretty quick, and you'll see. It's a good group. It's a small group, you know what I mean? But it's a good group of people. Feel free to ask any questions, anything. Everybody's open to the good conversation. We can all disagree around here. That's one thing. We can get heated and disagree about everything. At the end of the day, everybody loves each other here.
I mentioned Clover Tech because he teaches on Thursdays, 2A guys, how to do better videos. And then I mentioned Gizzard Gary because he has an open chat, and he pays crazy enough to post his link there at the bottom where anybody can jump on.
Yeah.
Luke, I think if you subscribe to me or go to my channel, maybe everybody's channel here, and go look to who they're subscribed to, and you can go down to the list and look at all the other channels, and you'll start to see common faces, common people and groups. And it'll take you a little bit of time, but here, if you just snoop around and watch some videos and listen to some people, you'll meet a nice crowd of people, man. It would be worth your while.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. Wheeling Well Armed, Jim, you know me, man. I just recently got onto this forum. You know what I mean? I was not, I just did it because, I kind of thought that people might want to see something, but, I never, ever in a million years thought that I would be able to get onto a forum with such, guys who are, this knowledgeable about stuff, and, I share on my social media, hey, check this out, definitely, look at this, because, even though we are disabled in many ways, the fundamental of firearms still apply, and, for me, this is, to me, this is like being on fucking Larry King.
All person I'll tell you watch out for is New York Outcast.
Yeah.
Rob used to be a track star, and he thinks he's better than us just because he's fast.
No. But I will point out
salad and lettuce and twigs. And next thing you know, your daughter
Hey,
is
I want
making
you guys to stick around. That's
all
the
healthy.
point. But
But my point is,
there
though,
is
is that
differences within the groups.
I
In
love-
general, you're pretty good for information, but depending on values and different things, there is differences and little cliques out there. So these guys make it all sound la-di-da. In general, it is good, all in general, but there is slight differences. So
You
just
can tell
go
by
into things
asking
smartly,
questions.
in my
I
opinion,
love the fact
and eat
that
salad.
I love the fact that I am able to be a part of something that is bigger than myself in my channel, but also have the support of you guys, and for my my followers on social media, like you guys could get questions from people that follow me, and I am fucking blessed that I got asked to do this, and that I have a really good group of guys, all of you, if somebody has a question, you guys aren't going to feed them some type of bullshit where they want to hear it. So I'm, and all this, Rick and, Jim, you guys, you opened me up to so much about this, and I thank you guys for that more than anything in the world, because, I just did so much of this stuff just to, hey, maybe somebody wants to see this someday. So the fact that I'm able to be in everybody else's presence to this, that means a lot to me personally.
Well, we're glad to have you. And it's gone 8 o'clock, so I'm going to start winding this down. And,
the cats are circling.
Do what?
The cats are circling, huh?
They are actually, well, no, they've been fed. They are sitting here. They're trying to scratch my leg, and I'm keep pushing them away, because I'm wearing short pants, and damn, their claws hurt, but all right. We're still start with you, Patriot. Any plugs or shout outs?
I appreciate you always having this. It is always fun to jump on. Sorry I was late. If you guys want to check out that project I'm doing, if you have any suggestions or other historical documents you'd like to hear about, let me know. Just drop them in any of those comments or whatever. The series I'm doing is kind of drawn out, and some of them, they're only like 1 or 2 minutes, and I drop them every day, and it's kind of a stretched out way too long. But I don't know. Anyway, hopefully you guys will like them. If there's anything about history or whatever, just let me know. And that's about it. And R.I.P. to Rush. And thanks for having me.
All right. Will and Well Armed, got any plugs or shout outs?
No, got a couple of videos dropping this weekend, but nothing big.
Hey,
appreciate you having. Go ahead.
I'm going to say, I see your favorite company bought Colt.
I'm excited about that. I expected good things with CZ and Colt.
Yeah.
Hopefully those DWXs will start dropping down from the sky.
Yeah. Jason, you got any plugs or shout outs?
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug Wheelchair Luke. I threw his YouTube link out there in the chat a couple times. Everybody go subscribe to him. Maybe he can subscribe back to you and get him involved in this group here. So just everybody do that. Let's give him some good stuff to watch and some good stuff to learn. And glad he came on tonight, man. Glad to meet you.
Mystic Guns has just signed on, and as we're doing our closing credits.
Oh, that's good because I missed her.
Yeah. Hey, there's a good, before we move on to New York, tonight, was it around 10:30? You got Rants and Raves for Roll Call 241. It's a pretty good show, but anyway, New York Outcast, you got any plugs or shout outs?
No, just thanks for joining us, and have a great night, everybody.
All right. Wheelchair Luke, you got any shouts or plugs you want to do?
Jay, hey man, I appreciate the shout out, man. Really do. And just the people that support me, my friends Pat, Anna, my brother Mike, mom and dad, and my friend Jade, thank you so much, and you, Rick, man, I appreciate it, brother.
No problem. No problem. So I'm going to shut her down, but don't go away. Stay on. All right. Well, Mystic Guns, you're remodeling your kitchen and painting your living room. Shouldn't what's his name? Shouldn't the Gun Snob be doing that?
He did. They built their own custom cabinets.
Oh, okay. All right. We're cutting my break then. All right.
In the cold too.
I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat tonight for hanging with us and dropping in your questions and stuff. I might not get to everybody, but I do read 99% of them. So I do appreciate it. And I will be back on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters. And so I will see you all then. So good night, everybody.
Good night, Sabrina.
Pay it forward.